Hi, my name's Karen, and I'm here to tell you a story. Just imagine I'm sitting across from you, or at the other end of the couch, or we're just sitting together on the floor. Today's story is called Rabbit by Sue J. Johnson. It's about a woman around middle age who is coming to terms with all the changes that life can bring, including her teenage daughter beginning to separate and become an adult a little bit. Okay, here we go. Rabbit by Sue J. Johnson. She is stretched long and thin on the asphalt, dead, I assume. I bend down to investigate. Her eyes are dewy, graceful. A tiny chest cavity expands and releases ever so slightly. We live on a tight curve on a windy road. I have blessed many flattened chipmunks and squirrels on our morning walks, and 13 years ago, when our daughter was 2, she came close to a similar fate. From the kitchen, I heard a car honking and ran to find her naked little body standing in the middle of the road, a giant white SUV idling inches away. I scooped her up in a panic and ran off without even thanking the teenage boy behind the wheel. No one tells you when you bring home a child that loss moves in too. It is always there, peeking its head from under the blanket, sweetening the fleeting moments with its threat of taking them away. My body shivers at the memory. The rabbit at my feet is shivering too. My husband is impatient to begin our walk. We can't just leave her, I say. I suggest he get the car and finish the job. I couldn't do that, he says. She is soft and nearly weightless. Her chest rests gently in my palm, hind legs draping over my forearm, a hold I remember from the infant days. Her heart beats a Morse code into my hand, telling me she might just make it, or at least she wants to try. I notice a single drop of blood on my arm and turn her to find its origin. A red trail runs down her elegant ear. Our youngest is awake. She has the morning shift at the bakery where she has been rolling out croissants. It is her first job. I tuck the rabbit into my sweatshirt, sheltering her from our dog who is at my heels. Come see what I brought home, I call to her. I can't, she says, I'm late. She's on her phone, I can tell. I try again. You want to see this, I say. She emerges, brushing her long, dark hair that not long ago wouldn't be tamed by a comb, hair that clumped and knotted from swims and somersaults, hair that I cut with a kitchen scissors at the end of each summer. Now she sets her alarm so she can get the tuck of her t-shirt just right, mascara her already long lashes, and in our new pandemic world, match her mask with her outfit. I hold Rabbit up, an offering, a plea. Remember? Oh, she says, coming in close, what happened? Is it going to live? Someone must have taken the turn too fast and hit her, I say. She's stunned, but she's responsive. My daughter reaches into the softness of the rabbit tenderly, like she knows what to do. The rabbit lifts its head slightly, her good ear twitching. We call my daughter the animal whisperer. She's the girl who once pulled up a seahorse in a fishing net. I can feel her coming to life. And then the moment is over. I'm late, she says. Can you drive me? It is a 5-minute bike ride to the bakery. No, I tell her, you can bike. I find a box for the rabbit and line it with our coziest blanket. My daughter puts on her bike helmet and sits down next to me. We watch her breath. And then she is gone, pedaling up the street. Text me how she's doing, she calls back to me. I sit with the rabbit most of the morning. I hover my hands over her spine, imagining I am healing her with my love. Her front paws are long and thin and seem especially limp, like they would bend the wrong way. I think they are broken, I tell my husband, who makes a cup of tea and sits next to me. The radio is on in the kitchen. We only listen to the news when the kids are out of the house these days. The death toll from the pandemic is 300,000. Wildfires have ravaged the West. We humans are not suited for multivariable outcomes. We prefer the binaries, the cause and effect of one, maybe two unanticipated events. A rabbit in a careening car, a woman on her morning walk. 4 dead from the fires, the reporter says. Hundreds evacuated, dozens of homes, a beloved library. How hot the air must be. I imagine rabbits gasping tiny lungfuls of air, the heat of the earth on their paws. How many rabbits? I want to know. There is no mention of the rabbits. Our rabbit tries to lift herself up but collapses back into the blanket. My sister calls. Give her some water, she says. I fill the lid of a mayonnaise jar from the tap and offer it. She does not move. I text my writing group. Look what little beauty I found on my walk this morning. I attach a photo of her, ears pinned back, mottled tan, white and black fur with a little white crown. I am sitting down to write while I hold vigil over her, I add. One friend writes back, I am at the pediatric dentist right now watching Peter Rabbit. Another friend sends a link to a New York Times article about how COVID is creating a mental health crisis for new and expecting mothers. I can confirm that it is, she texts. Her son is 4 months old. Some days I feel like I'm unraveling, she writes. Other days I feel like I've got it. Today is one of the unraveling days, and this rabbit photo did wonders for me. I look up YouTube videos of how to splint a broken rabbit paw with a popsicle stick and some gauze. There is nothing cuter than a bunny wearing a cast. The night before, we watched a red-tailed hawk hunting on the grassy field where we play frisbee. She made a low, shadowless pass, her feathers arching like fingers on her silent approach. 3 rabbits escaped under the bushes. We rooted for the hawk as she made 3 more attempts before circling into the cloudless sky. How quickly things change. I pull some bean shoots from the garden and put them next to our rabbit. My daughter texts from the bakery. How is she doing? Resting, I write back. There is a stillness I haven't known in some time. A sense of perfection, completion. At 4 p.m., my daughter arrives home, parks her bike, and comes running in. Can't we take her to the vet? No, I tell her. I'm not spending $400 to have a wild rabbit x-rayed. Nature will take its course. She calls her best friend who just got a bunny, one that is house-trained and comes when she whistles. I hear them on the phone, excited. Yours is named Pluto, so my rabbit will be Mercury. She's a little girl again, alive, dreaming. I remember there is a wild animal rescue place in the next town. I call them. Bring her in, the woman tells me. There is a sign outside with a phone number to announce one's arrival. I hand the box with the rabbit to my daughter while I dial. My husband stays in the car, radio on. A woman appears wearing an oversized t-shirt, mud boots, and an N95 mask. It's very nice of you to bring it in, she says, reaching for the rabbit. I'll bring the box back, she says. And then she disappears into the house, sliding the glass doors shut behind her. Mama, what is happening? Her eyes are big with fear. Dread rises up my belly into my heart. I shake my head. I don't know, I whisper. The woman returns and hands me the empty box. Thank you, she says again. Very few people would have brought it in. We don't move. But can't we take her home? She turns the entirety of her body towards me. Rabbits are prey, and they are very skittish, she explains. Any human contact is stressful for them. She speaks slowly, as though I am a child. She doesn't understand that I have been with this rabbit all day. She doesn't know that I can heal with my love. She doesn't know that my daughter crawls into the nest of my body, and that is all she needs. She doesn't know that my daughter is magic, and that animals seek her for comfort. They can have a heart attack just from your presence, she says. Honestly, it's not a good sign that she has been so calm. She did not respond to a pinch test on her hind legs. She is paralyzed and will have problems with her digestion. It is quite likely we will have to euthanize her. I turn to my daughter. She is taller than I remember. Her thick, long hair falls over her broad shoulders. She is still wearing her work t-shirt. Her cut-off shorts make her legs go on forever. I want her to say no, to insist that we take the rabbit back. I want her to convince the woman with her tears, the way she works them on me. She is expressionless. It's just that we weren't prepared for this, I stammer. The woman looks at me blankly. It's fine, my daughter says. Let's go. I thank the woman, say something about how important the work she is doing is, and we head toward the car. I put the empty box in the trunk. On the snuggly blanket is a tiny drop of blood, evidence that what just happened was real. I want to crawl back through the day, rewind to the morning when everything was still possible. I want to stroke her soft fur, walk through the door, and bring my daughter to life with the little miracle in my hands. I want to save her all over again. I climb into the passenger seat and look back to see tears streaming down my daughter's face. I imagine Mercury lying on a stainless steel countertop. You can't let her take her, my daughter says. The sobs are coming fast. If she's just going to kill her, at least we can take her home and take care of her. But why didn't you say that when we were standing there? I ask her. I wanted to save her, and instead I have failed them both. She slows her breathing enough to speak. I was in shock, she says. I know this well. The deer in the headlights, the nick of the blade, the crush of a tire, the girl who does not want to trouble anyone, the woman who is conditioned to be nice rather than true. What do you want to do? I ask. I hope that she will say, let's go, that she isn't heartbroken, that she will forgive me. Let's think about what is best for the rabbit, my husband says. Please try to get her back, my daughter says. I climb out of the car, walk through the rain, and dial the number on the front door. Leah, it's about the rabbit, I say. I hear a sigh on the other end. Can't we take her home and care for her, I ask. It's really... I can feel Leah's impatience. I imagine a backlog of squirrels, turtles, and herons awaiting her attention. It's not even legal to have a wild animal, she says. You have to be licensed. Can't we at least say goodbye? She is silent. I wonder if she has already euthanized her, put an end to its suffering. I can hear her take a long inhale. Every interaction, she says, is stressful. To the rabbit, you are a predator. Really, it's for the best. It's just that, and now I want to punish her. We were so unprepared, I say. My daughter calls me from the car. The rain is falling heavier now. Mommy, it's fine. Let's just go. Okay. Thank you, I say again. We are silent as my husband steers down the long dirt road. Tears sting my cheeks. I turn to see my daughter wiping hers away. She stares out the window. I want her to reach for my hand, and I want to take it and squeeze hard. What were you thinking would happen, my husband asks. Did you think we could care for a paralyzed rabbit? Yes, I say. I did think that. We could have, my daughter and me, with with an eyedropper and pea shoots from the farmer's market, a downy blanket for her convalescence until we would release her back into the hedges across the road where our dog would give half-hearted chase. My sister calls. "What happened?" she asks excitedly. I cannot speak through my tears. "Oh," she says, and waits until I can recount what Leah said. It probably is a good thing. She says the things I cannot bring myself to say, that I know my daughter needs to hear, that I too need to hear. That sweet rabbit won't suffer anymore. That nature does take her course. That everything changes. The tears feel good now. They're clean and simple. These tears have been building for weeks, maybe months. I think you three should go get some ice cream," she says. Perhaps these tears have been building for years. This waning of my ability to soothe, to protect, to repair heartbreak with ice cream. I reach my hand out for my daughter. She does not take it. She's on her phone. "Do you want ice cream?" I ask. "No," she says, putting her earbuds in. "It's fine." That was Rabbit by Sue J. Johnson. She is a multi-talented writer. If you would like some more information about this author, you can find it below. If you have a story of your own that you would like to submit to be read on the channel, their information for that is provided as well. Thank you for sitting with me today and listening to my story. I hope you'll be back next time.